Welcome to today's Talk Business and Politics Daily. I'm Roby Brock. I am joined by Senior Analyst Kim Souza. She writes for the Northwest Arkansas Business Journal and Talk Business and Politics, and she is like our ace Wal-Mart reporter, among many other things. So good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, all right. So you're coming off of Super Bowl shareholder week. I compare Wal-Mart shareholders meeting to, it's the Super Bowl of retail. For people who have never been to a shareholders meeting before for Wal-Mart, how would you describe it?
Well, it's not just a meeting, it's a whole week of events for media, and they really feed you water with the fire hydrant. I don't know how else to put it. Wal-Mart doesn't do anything in a small way, and there's no exception to their shareholder meeting or their week, which is really built around a time for management to be with their associates, or as we say, employees who come from literally all over the world for this event.
And for the media folks like yourself and some of the other folks from our team, I mean, you're there at the crack of dawn and you're there until, late at night too. What's kind of going on with all that space, and are there any breaks?
Wal-Mart does a really good job. They actually have a team who plans the media events, and because media do come in from all over the world, they pretty much have our day filled. This particular year, we spent time at their new training academy in Fayetteville. We saw it last year, but the paint was still drying, basically. We heard from people who had gone through the academy this year. They also put the media through some of the academy drills, and we got certificates and tassels as graduates when we were done, but we really had a good sense of what they're trying to do with their academy. We heard from executives, as you would expect. A lot was said about .com and online and bridging that with store media. We did hear from Mark Laurie. That was the first time a lot of media had actually had a chance to see Mark Laurie, and Liza Landsman, the CEO of Jet, was also here.
Okay, that's cool. So last question on the shareholders week per se. You wrote an article about the origins of the shareholder meeting, and it's actually really fascinating. So in the early days of Wal-Mart and in the days of Sam Walton, how did the shareholders meeting become the extravaganza that it is?
Well, it was interesting to learn. In his biography, there was a lot said about the meetings. The reason that he started the meetings to be more than just a 60-minute business meeting was basically to drum up business for the infant retailer at the time. He used to take analysts at that same meeting on canoe trips. But a few years later, he decided, well, let's bring the employees in. That would give us a great time to meet with our employees as the retailer was growing, and he thought it would be fun to bring entertainment in for his employees, and he was very resourceful. Sam Walton was very resourceful. If he was anything, he contacted the record companies. He was selling a lot of records in Wal-Mart stores at the time, and he said, can you work it in your contract to have those people perform at my shareholder event annually? And I believe the first acts were Tom T. Hall and the Kendalls, country acts. But it built every year. Wal-Mart still brings in those associates, and most people are surprised to know that those stars, those celebrities come in for nothing. They are paid, their accommodations are paid for, but they come for free. And they put on a pretty good show for Wal-Mart and the millions who are watching online.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about two of the big takeaways from the shareholders meeting to me. Number one, you talked about Mark Laurie and what's going on with Jet.com and just the whole e-commerce opportunity for Wal-Mart and how they are looking for ways to integrate that customer experience. Omni-channel retail is what they call it there, and the numbers are backing that up. Are you surprised at how well that integration is going, as bumpy of a ride as it can be?
I'm really not surprised, because it really started 2.5 years ago when Walmart US CEO Greg Foran made a stern commitment to get the ship in shape. He really got down to basics with how stores operate. He, in all the work that his team has done, much of which has been recruited from abroad. If you go to these meetings, most of the executives speak with an English accent.
Right.
It's crazy how they're running the U.S. business, but they're doing a super job.
It's because they were ahead.
They were
in
ahead
the technology
in
and
the
the use
e-commerce.
of it, right?
They were delivering groceries in the UK 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But he did bring up a point. He said, even today, still 90% of the sales in the United Kingdom are in store. So he had the stores in shape, and then along comes Mark Laurie. He has great vision, having started Jet. He's former Amazon. He's able to take online to a new level. I think you heard that one of the big news announcements they had was that they were using store employees to test delivery of .com items.
Right.
There's still a lot of kinks to be worked out in that, but they are testing it. I think he's been given a very long rope and he's been giving a lot of leeway to say, do anything you want to do to try to bring merge in stores and online, and that's one way he's doing it. He instituted pickup discount where you can order online, but we'll give it to you cheaper if you'll pick it up in the store. I mean, he's really stopping at nothing to get online shoppers to go to the store for some reason.
They're testing a lot of innovative things there. I thought the other interesting too that Foran said in one of your stories too was he had no idea what retail would look like 5 years from now. I think that's a fascinating comment from someone who is knee deep in retail.
Should know retail.
And, I mean, I think he probably has inclinations of where things will go, but he had a different philosophy. Kind of explain that.
He literally cut his teeth in retail. And he's a great operator. That's why they have him running U.S. stores, doing a great job with the operations. But he said, I don't have a crystal ball. If you ask me 5-10 years from now to write down 5 things, I probably might not get any of them right because I don't know. But thank goodness we have Mark Laurie and other people, innovators on our team we are trying many new things. We are throwing lots of things against the wall, hoping something will stick.
Yeah.
And I think that's a different thing for Wal-Mart. Wal-Mart has become a lot more nimble in their thinking, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, sets them up for the long run. All right, Kim Souza, senior analyst with the Northwest Arkansas Business Journal and Talk Business and Politics. You can keep up with her stuff at talkbusiness.net or NWABusinessJournal.com. Great stuff. Good to be with you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with Talk Business and Politics Executive Editor Michael Tilley. Does he have anything? Could he even top Kim Souza in this segment? We'll find out right after this.
Arkansas Electric Cooperative Corporation provides electric energy across 2/3 of Arkansas. This is an exciting time in our energy history, with incredible progress being made in renewable energy and storage technologies. As our energy portfolio continues to diversify, we'll maintain an all-the-above strategy to provide reliable and affordable electricity. Ever since the first light bulbs were placed in our members' homes, the electric cooperatives have been the solutions provider for our members, and we want to continue that well into the future.
Each day, the promise of our nation begins again. Arkansas and America, moving forward. I help make that promise a reality. It's not for everyone, but people everywhere depend on us. Trucking delivers, or everything stops. And that's what drives me.
And welcome back to Talk Business and Politics Daily. I'm with Michael Tilley's executive editor of TB&P, as well as the Northwest Arkansas Business Journal. Good to be back with you.
TB&P, it almost sounds like a good sandwich.
It does. I like a PB&J,
Yeah.
and I take a TB&P read with my PB&J.
There you go.
PDQ. How
There
about
you
that?
go.
All right, so Kim and I were talking before the break about just the latest Wal-Mart shareholders meeting. It's the Super Bowl of retail, as I like to describe it. But let's talk about some of the big takeaways from Shareholders Week. Let's begin, number one, with was one of the big news items there, in that Walmart's going to start home delivery, at least on a limited basis.
Yeah, they're going to continue testing it. They're going to see what the lessons learned. 3 markets, 1 in Northwest Arkansas, 2 in New Jersey. We don't know where. But yeah, that was big news. They made it the day before the shareholders meeting. And it turned out to be some of the biggest news. There was no big news. Last year we had the change in board ownership or
Correct.
board chairmanship. But yes, we're going to try this home delivery. Not a lot of details on it. I mean, one of the questions we had and raised in the story was, how do you handle that liability with those employees with their vehicles? There are some questions there. I'm sure Wal-Mart is, as one insurance agent told me, is very sophisticated. They'll have a team of lawyers figuring that out. But that will be interesting to see how they address that. It'll be interesting to see how they address any safety security issues, making sure that the right people are vetted because you're taking product to people's homes. So you want to make sure that you don't mess that up.
Yeah.
So, but look, they have the resources, 4,600 plus stores, all those 1.3, 1.4.
It's a pretty good distribution and delivery system,
so if they can figure it out, and they stressed over and over that last mile of delivery is the most expensive mile.
Yeah.
Getting it to the fulfillment centers and the distribution centers, a lot of those costs are already built in. It's getting that built in, and Walmart and Amazon are engaged in the shipping and price per shipping war. And if Walmart has an advantage, that's where it could be.
Yeah. So Mark Lurie's looking like a pretty good investment right now.
Well, so far,
in terms of acquisitions,
9 months into the
new thinking, in terms of how to kind of be more omni-channel as a retailer there, and he's got, it seems like, I guess, a healthy budget to go out. Do we expect some more acquisitions?
Well, they've already hinted at it. Bonobos, a few other. But yes, they've made it clear. It's no surprise. They made it clear that they are going to be looking for other specialty retailers. Frankly, I'm surprised that they haven't done that in recent months. That early pace was pretty quick. After they bought Jet, there were several acquisitions. But yeah, they've given Lurie a lot of leeway. I still think McMillan should get a lot of the credit. Obviously, I'm not in the behind-the-scenes meetings, but he talked about this direction before they ever bought Jet. So a lot of things that he talked about, they're now fulfilling. I think he just grabbed the guy with the background who can make that happen.
Yeah.
So with Lurie, with Greg Foran making improvements on the Walmart U.S. side, I think you're going to see a lot more coming together of those divisions.
Yeah, well, I wanted to hit on that too because, again, another piece of really good news from the latest quarterly report, and it was talked about at the shareholders meeting as well, is the improvement in U.S. store sales. This isn't an overnight kind of ship turning around, but they had been going in the wrong direction for quite a while, and now we're, about 2.5 years into some improved numbers?
Yeah, 2 points on that. One, they're continuing that trend. Foot traffic's up. Comp store sales are improving 10, 11 quarters, respectively. And they're doing this when the retail sector is not. The whole retail sector is not doing well. And they're able, of course, the other retail sector doesn't have grocery sales and those kind of things. So that's driving that. And I think we're going to see a lot more pressure to keep that up based on the investments.
So what can we expect to see from Walmart in the near future?
Well, I think in the near future, probably more of the same. I think we're going to see this continued focus on this fresh, the produce, the continued improvements in the Walmart U.S. store. Greg Foran talked about that over and over in the meetings about how he thinks he's about 1/3 of the way through to meeting those objectives he set 2 years ago. Now, we thought that was pretty definitive, and then later he said, but as we get into those improvements, we see other things we can improve. So sometimes those goalposts move. So is it 1/3 now? Will it be 1/3 later? But they've really made the progress. So I think we're going to see more of that. I think Walmart, they've already hinted at it to some degree. I think they're going to talk more about how their training academies that they're growing is going to impact not only their turnover rates, but the improvements in the store. It's fresh food, fast, clean, all those factors come into play, and I think they're going to tout that more. And we're already seeing more analysts on the equity side. These equity analysts are starting to buy in. They've been very cautious, if not negative, for the past 2 or 3 years.
Absolutely.
And so now they're they're getting on board with it.
Yeah. All right. He's Michael Tilley. He's executive editor of Talk Business and Politics in the Northwest Arkansas Business Journal. You're saying, I think my big takeaway is there will be much more to report on Walmart in the near future.
It's not going anywhere. No, they're not going under anytime
Good to
soon.
see you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for watching our program today. That is all. We'll see you next time.